What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I hope the audio is good. It's a pretty windy day, but I wanted to give an honest review of the GoPro Hero 9, having it for a few days, using it, my thoughts, kind of just overall opinion. So we're gonna go on a little bit of a walk, kind of do a real-time video. Again, just want to preface this, I'm using the external microphone that's like the creator bundle that kind of comes with that foam attached to it. So if for some reason you're like, oh, normally the audio doesn't actually sound like that, that is because I'm using this thing, which I highly recommend for all GoPros. So just to preface that, well, the quality of the footage. Obviously the GoPro Hero 9 can film up to 5K, which is definitely very high. Pretty sure the GoPro Hero 11 can do up to 8K. I may be wrong, but I mean, that's still insane that like cameras are able to do that high of quality, which is just amazing, to be honest. I'm currently shooting in 2.7K 60 frames per second in the super view mode, which is, to be honest, probably my favorite mode, just considering the amount of like range that you get while you're filming. So yeah, I think the footage is just amazing. I love that you're able to do time lapse. I love that you're able to just film in so many different modes. It's just amazing. It's really hard sometimes for like a DSLR camera, if you want to try to record a really wide angle, like you have to get a separate lens. I love that GoPro, it's like you're able to do that all in one, and it's so small. And often, a lot of the time, it's not awkward if you're trying to film, because I think sometimes it's like when you're trying to film in public and you have this gigantic camera, people get a little bit weird. And I think that's something that, you know, is a benefit of the GoPro, is it's not really invasive, and it's not, yeah, just doesn't always feel kind of weird. The audio, I think, to be honest, is better than what I thought. I went from a GoPro Hero 5 to a GoPro Hero 9, and the quality is really good. Obviously, I'm using the external mic, so it's definitely very helpful, but to be honest, it's not like one of those things where I feel like sometimes you go from like, I don't know, like the iPhone 12 to like the iPhone 14, and it like still sounds exactly the same. Like I feel like from the GoPro Hero 5 to the GoPro Hero 9, it's a huge jump. But the point that I want to get to is, originally when I decided to purchase the GoPro Hero 9, there's also the GoPro Hero 11, which is currently the newest model. Now, I love to watch a bunch of reviews about products before I buy them, and honestly, the GoPro Hero 11 and 10 did not seem any better than the GoPro Hero 9, which is kind of insane, to be honest with you. It's kind of similar with a lot of companies right now, is same with iPhone. If you go from like the 13 to the 14, there's really no difference, to be honest with you. So that was my main reasoning to get the GoPro Hero 9. Plus, I was able to get the creator bundle for a really cheap price on Facebook Marketplace, so that's awesome. Now, durability, these GoPros, I feel like you could just like chuck one of these. Like if I wanted to just throw this really far, I probably could do that and it wouldn't break. So they're very durable, and you don't have to worry so much about like breaking the camera, because that's a big deal, I feel like, especially when you have like a DSLR. It's a big problem, and you worry about that sometimes, especially how heavy it is. Like, one thing I love about this GoPro is it's not heavy at all. I can always hold it in one hand. I could hold it with 2 fingers. Like, it is not heavy. I know sometimes, like, if I wanted to, I could use like a tripod or try to hold it from like an external like grip, but honestly, I just prefer like to use my hand. I just think that it's much easier, and yeah, I like it much better. So there's that. Stabilization on this camera is really, really good. Again, I did not see much of a difference between the 10 and 11. But to be honest, I'm holding this with one hand. If I was recording with an iPhone, this definitely would be shaking all over the place. And this thing is doing a really good job of just stabilizing the footage. And you can obviously imagine if I had like a gimbal, there would be no shake at all or anything. So it's definitely really nice. Yeah, so I think those are really awesome. Also, one thing that I really do like is you're able to have like a voice command for the camera. So if I wanted to say like, you know, tell it to start recording, it would. There's also a quick feature button where like the camera technically doesn't have to be turned on, and you're able to just like start recording super quickly. I think they call it like quick capture, but it just makes it super easy, especially if just like all of a sudden you just want to start recording something. So that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, there's so many features in this camera. Now I want to talk about the cons of what I think. Number one is, I think, you know, I understand that this is like, the battery is not going to be insane. I do think sometimes the battery can definitely die out, not super quickly, but like, I feel like quicker than what I would think. So I definitely recommend to just get like maybe a second or third battery if you're someone who shoots like a lot of footage, and especially if you shoot in like 4K, you're definitely going to need that. Secondly, it just comes with these types of like cameras, video cameras, is you're going to need a micro SD connector or adapter to plug it into your laptop if you want to do editing. Now I know there is like Splice that you can do editing on, but I personally prefer to do, you know, Filmora, Wondershare, just like different editing software, because personally I've had issues before where if I'm recording in 2.7K, recording in 4K, and I try to use Splice or something, the quality I feel like always gets like diminished, so I prefer just not to use that. And lastly, the only other con that I would say is I wish GoPro would just be a little bit cheaper. I feel like for the price, like the new GoPro Hero 11 is going for a lot of money, and I feel like more people would be filming with GoPros if the price was cheaper. Like this GoPro Hero 9, I don't know how many years ago it was made, but on Facebook Marketplace, like with a bundle with 3 batteries, with a case, with all these other accessories, it was probably, I think I paid like 200, but still, like, I'm not saying that's obviously like super expensive or super cheap, but I feel like more people would be enticed to film with the GoPro if the price was different. And no, actually I think my last thing is just, I think GoPro software sometimes can be a little bit buggy. It's definitely not the worst that I've seen. I think there's a lot of like features that you can do, and some people argue that like DJI has better I guess features that you can do on some of their models, but to be honest, like DJI costs so much money to just buy. Like if you're looking for an action camera, and you go to like the DJI Pocket 2, like that's going for way more than the GoPro Hero 9. And also DJI hasn't even released the DJI Pocket 3, which we've been waiting for so long. They said that it was going to come out back in April, never did. So that's why I just definitely decided to go with GoPro, because I just think, why wait for that long? GoPro already has over a 1-inch sensor. DJI hasn't even released a 1-inch sensor yet, so it's definitely, yeah, I don't know. But back to the pros, I do think the colors are really nice on this camera. You can obviously do different types of filters, so you could have like a filmmaker mode, cinematic. There's lots of different features that you can do. Obviously you can do slow-mo, which is a big reason why people love using this type of camera. I also do like that you can attach this to like honestly anything that's action based. So if you want to, you know, it's really easy to mount this onto anything, but if you wanted to do any of that, I just love that you're able to I love that you're able to attach it. You know, like I've done videos where it's like POV of riding an electric scooter, and it's super easy to just use like a body mount or something else. Like, I love that functionality. I think that's just so much easier than a lot of other products that I've used before. And like, good luck attaching a DSLR to your body to start recording, and then also on top of that paying for a wide angle lens. Like, good luck. So it's just going to be way more expensive. But again, I love shooting in the super view mode just because I think like you get such a wide range of like a field of view. Like, I'm holding it, that's like an arm's length, and look how far that is. And then obviously if I'm coming closer, like this is probably less than a foot away from my face, but it still feels like really far away. And what I love about the GoPro Hero 9, and I think this was the first model that they decided to do it, is the display in the front. When I had the GoPro Hero 5, I did not know what was being recorded. It was kind of just like, good luck, hope you can you know, see what you're, or like hope you're in view. This I absolutely love, and it's actually like really good. Like, it's almost like I can see in real time what's actually being recorded. The display is small, but it's not small enough whereas like I cannot see what's actually being filmed. Like, as long as I can see like that I'm in frame, that's all that really matters. On the display, get to see how long you've been recording, the battery, how much SD card memory you have left, the type of shot that you're doing, so it will display that. So just really cool. Again, really impressed by this GoPro Hero 9. Such a big jump from the GoPro Hero 5, and absolutely love it. So if you're in the market for an action camera and you're like, okay, do I choose the DJI Pocket 2? Do I choose the GoPro? Do I choose the DJI Osmo? Like, what do I choose? Do I choose an iPhone? Price-wise, I would go with the GoPro Hero 9. I would go with getting custom accessories for it, like, you know, the external mic, everything like that. I just think currently GoPro all around is the best action camera. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments below why you think that. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and take care. Bye.